policy has not yet received its due attention, the attention that it deserves, because at the end of the day, we want that all these ideas be reflected in policy initiatives, in actual policies, in policy institutions, and so forth. And policy is still regarded as a as largely neoclassical economics, also within this community, as an application of positive analysis of the reality. Gives you kind of an automatic answer what policy is all about. We would call it policy is an application rather than a field of knowledge. The policy, which as a field of knowledge, is still in its infant phase in this community. And this is one of the big challenges, I think, in the future, because I do think that now, because of the crumbling of the Washington Consensus and all that, there's really an opportunity to develop a new body of knowledge. And I think we cannot compete with neoclassical economics and other predominant areas, approaches to economics and social sciences, more generally speaking, by going directly against formal modeling with our own models, game theory with another game theory, and all this kind of thing. But we can compete with policy. Policy which is based on knowledge and on theory of policy. Policy as a result of a theory of policy applied to a particular context, the result of that being concrete policy measures in a particular context.
Elena was very concerned about the gender issue, because most of the people that usually participated in the opening of the conferences or as keynote speaker, etc., were men. And then she wanted to push the women to have a more important participation in the conference. Then she was concerned on putting women in all the roundtables, in all the sessions as discussant, etc. No? And I think that it was important, and after that I think that this concern was important in the other conferences. Actually, in the conference here in Mexico, we were also concerned about an equilibrium in each of the sessions, and then to have men and women, but also a concern about an equilibrium between people from different countries, coming from different countries, and not only between the North and the South, but also inside the South. We were concerned of having people from Africa, from Latin America, and from Asia.
In Globelics is to share more than teaching one another, but to share ideas. And I think that Globelics was successful in this, because putting these scholars from North in contact with the experience of life concerns of scholars from the South allow a very good sharing of experience and challenging as well.
But luckily enough, Globelics has been so successful in gathering people from political economy, from sociology, from anthropology, that they are just asking nasty questions that people from economics are not able to answer. So they can do two things. One is throwing away the questions, and the other thing is understanding that we have to cooperate intellectually to be able to answer that question. So it's not easy, and it's not without tensions, but this is nice. This is exactly why Globelics is so intellectually exciting.
No, on the whole it is astonishing, because when Benake came with this idea 5-6 years ago, I thought he was mad, and he would never succeed. It is impossible to organize so many people from so many different countries, people who had little money, little time, and not only this working, but on the top of that, there are now like spin-offs from Globelics that call Asialics or all sorts of things, and they work because I received continuously from them invitations to participate in I don't know how many conferences that take place in China or in India or in South Africa or in Brazil, and so it's very good. I think that they have succeeded.
Something very interesting in the network is the number of people that were in SPRU, that came from SPRU or passed through SPRU, and it's amazing. When we look at the people that were in Mexico, the number of people that were somehow connected to SPRU is amazing in the conference. I think that in a sense, this very people sharing this enthusiasm of Chris Freeman, this enthusiasm that is very present in SPRU.
So I think that empirical base of Globelics analytical framework should improve. We have to improve a lot. We are very young, so it's a very small, we are not, if development economics is 50-year-old, we are just 10-year-old, we are a baby. So we are just started learning to walk. So now we have to develop good analytical framework, how to provide solid empirical basis for that, how to develop good models for that. These are our job we have to do, because we have to do kind of providing solid, strengthening the analytical foundations. We have to do a lot.
Anyway, I think that a network of researchers is not only an issue of friendship. I think that we have to increase the quality of the papers. I'm not saying that the quality of the presentation were bad in the past, but we had to push in the direction of an increase in the quality of the paper, the quality of the discussion. For instance, in the meeting now in Mexico City, we put a lot of emphasis and we put a lot of pressure on the generating more discussion.
These institutional constructions take time. I mean, they evolve through time. You do not awake tomorrow morning and things are ready. Neither next year. I mean, it's a construction that gradually takes form through time. And if you ask my opinion, I have the impression that Mexico is the highest point of this construction. I mean, Mexico has brought together 500 scholars with a large number of very major contributions. I mean, for the first time, the papers are first-rate. And if you sort of look around at the climate, in the corridors, in the passages, in the dinners, in the meetings for outside the main seminars, you will see that there is a tremendous amount of friendship and of interactivity between individuals. This was not there to begin with. This is a construction that came through during the years, and that actually tells us that things have been worked well.